More than 2 decades ago, in the summer of 2003, when rock music was extremely popular, and a TV series called That 70s Show was taking the airwaves by storm. However, beneath the bright spotlights and echoing laughter, a dark story is quietly unfolding. One day, 2 brave women from their troubled past stepped onto the scene to tell about what they had to go through. They shared about a famous actor, Danny Masterson, who they said raped them. The 2 have spent years in silence, but in the end, they decide to face their pasts to ensure that justice is done. As the trial begins, the story becomes more intense than ever. The audience was filled with emotion as painful narratives were presented before their eyes. Both women have faced curiosity, suspicion, and even public opposition. But like any other story, there are also heroes. Brave lawyers and investigators spent months uncovering the truth, creating a patch of light amid the darkness. Finally, after many days and nights of hard work, they achieved justice for the 2 brave women. A judge sentenced That 70s Show star Danny Masterson to 30 years to life in prison Thursday for raping 2 women 2 decades ago. Los Angeles Superior Court Judge Charlene F. Olmedo sentenced Masterson, 47, after hearing statements from the women about the trauma they experienced and the suffering caused by the memories disturbances caused in the years since. The actor, who has been in custody since May, sat in court wearing a suit. Masterson watched the women without visible reaction as they spoke. "When you raped me, you stole from me," said one woman who Masterson was convicted of raping in 2003. "That's what rape is, a theft of the spirit. You are pathetic, disturbed and completely violent," she said. "The world is better off with you in prison." The other woman Masterson was found guilty of raping said he has not shown an ounce of remorse for the pain he caused. She told the judge, "I knew he belonged behind bars for the safety of all the women he came into contact with. I am so sorry, and I'm so upset. I wish I'd reported him sooner to the police." After an initial jury failed to reach verdicts on 3 counts of rape in December and a mistrial was declared, prosecutors retried Masterson on all 3 counts earlier this year. This time, a jury of 7 women and 5 men found Masterson guilty of 2 counts on May 31 after 7 days of deliberations. Both attacks took place in Masterson's Hollywood area home in 2003, when he was at the height of his fame on the Fox network sitcom, That 70s Show. They could not reach a verdict on the 3rd count, an allegation that Masterson also raped a longtime girlfriend. They had voted 8-4 in favor of conviction. The judge sentenced the actor after rejecting a defense motion for a new trial that was argued earlier Thursday. The defense sought to have sentences for the 2 convictions run simultaneously, and asked for a sentence of 15 years to life. The prosecution asked for the full 30 years to life sentence Masterson was eligible for. "It's his life that will be impacted by what you decide today," Masterson's lawyer Sean Hawley told the judge before the sentencing. "And the life of his 9-year-old daughter, who means the world to him, and to whom he means the world." Hawley said, "He has lived an exemplary life. He has been an extraordinary father, husband, brother, son, co-worker and community servant." Prosecutors allege that Masterson used his prominence in the Church of Scientology, where all 3 women were also members at the time, to avoid consequences for decades after the attacks. The women blamed the church for their hesitancy in going to police about Masterson. They testified that when they reported him to Scientology officials, they were told they were not raped, were put through ethics programs themselves, and were warned against going to law enforcement to report a member of such high standing. The church said in a statement after the verdict that the testimony and descriptions of Scientology beliefs during the trial were uniformly false. The statement said, "The church has no policy prohibiting or discouraging members from reporting criminal conduct of anyone. Scientologists are not, to law enforcement." Masterson did not testify, and his lawyers called no witnesses. The defense argued that the acts were consensual, and attempted to discredit the women's stories by highlighting changes and inconsistencies over time, which they said showed signs of coordination between them. The women whose testimony led to Masterson's conviction said that in 2003, he gave them drinks and that they then became woozy or passed out before he violently raped them. Olmedo allowed prosecutors and accusers to say directly in the second trial that Masterson drugged the women, while only allowing the women to describe their condition in the first. Masterson was not charged with any counts of drugging, and there was no toxicology evidence to back up the assertion. The issue could be a factor in a planned appeal from the defense of Masterson's conviction. The Associated Press does not typically name people who say they've been sexually abused. Masterson starred with Ashton Kutcher, Mila Kunis and Topher Grace in That 70s Show from 1998 until 2006. He had reunited with Kutcher on the 2016 Netflix comedy The Ranch, but was written off the show when a Los Angeles Police Department investigation was revealed the following year. While that investigation began before a wave of women shook Hollywood with stories about Harvey Weinstein in October 2017, the conviction and sentencing of Masterson still represents a major era success for Los Angeles prosecutors, along with the conviction of Weinstein himself last year. At the September court hearing, the victims said the trauma had haunted them for years, damaging relationships and filling their lives with fear. Following the September 9th trial, the Church of Scientology announced it did not prohibit parishioners from reporting offenses to law enforcement. This has helped us to remember that anyone, no matter how famous or powerful, has to face the consequences of their actions. And the brave can always seek justice, no matter how long it takes. Hollywood in crisis because of sex scandals. Hollywood seems to be paralyzed, and in crisis with many projects being suspended, many films having their release schedules canceled, many studios closed, due to the stains of sex scandals. The blockbuster movies released by Hollywood in 2017 did not help the world cinema capital erase the scandalous sexual abuse cases, especially when the wave of accusations of Me Too, I Also So, is spreading more and more. Many similar cases continue to be exposed. This movement is increasingly expanding and has a strong voice. On December 5th, the American magazine Time voted Person of the Year as the victims who bravely denounced sexual harassment. Since the New York Times published a series of investigative stories about Harvey Weinstein's sexual abuse scandal in October, hundreds of victims have revealed they've been harassed or attacked by big names in the entertainment industry. This is one of Hollywood's biggest scandals because of the large number of stars involved, such as Rose McGowan, Salma Hayek, Angelina Jolie, Ashley Judd, Gwyneth Paltrow, Cara Delevingne, Kate Beckinsale. Mr. Harvey Weinstein is the name behind many valuable movies such as Shakespeare in Love, The King's Speech or Silver Linings Playbook. Victims have all accused him of wrongdoing, ranging from sexual harassment to rape. Since Harvey Weinstein was unmasked, the Weinstein Company, co-founded by Harvey Weinstein and his brother Bob Weinstein, has become an uncleanness in the eyes of the audience, even though before that, this was originally a reputable brand. Currently, projects related to the Weinstein Company are all on hold. Boss Harvey was fired from his own company and lost his seat at film associations. On October 14th, after a special meeting of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences in Los Angeles, USA, Harvey Weinstein was expelled from the Academy. Harvey was also suspended from activities by BAFTA, the British Academy of Film and Television. Famous director Oliver Stone has announced his withdrawal from the television series, Guantanamo, that he collaborated with this company. Meanwhile, the newly released movie Amityville: The Awakening by the Weinstein Company only earned $742 on its first day in theaters. Some sources say the Weinstein Company is on the verge of bankruptcy, as their financial capacity is being severely reduced due to a series of failures. The Weinstein Company isn't the only studio in trouble. The giant data streaming service Netflix is also facing a similar situation, when Kevin Spacey, star of the television series House of Cards, is facing accusations of sexual abuse of a male colleague was also accused of plotting to rape a 15-year-old boy in New York. After this scandal, Spacey was removed from the show, and he also publicly admitted that he was gay. Many Hollywood stars not only cannot sympathize with Spacey, but also comment that this actor uses gender issues to distract public opinion. The production schedule for the final season of Political Turbulence, scheduled to air in 2018, has been discontinued. In addition, Netflix also had to cancel the release schedule of Gore, a biographical film about American writer Gore Vidal starring Spacey. At Warner Brothers, a sex scandal involves filmmaker Brett Ratner, who has resonated with blockbusters Rush Hour, The Revenant, and Horrible Bosses, has threatened the hundreds of millions of dollars in co-sponsorship between the studio and Ratner's entertainment company Rat Pack. The studio has removed Ratner from the role of producer on the highly anticipated film, The Goldfinch, adapted from the Pulitzer Prize-winning novel by American writer Donna Tartt. In similar cases, APA's agent Tyler Grasham was fired, and Primary Wave Entertainment manager David Gallad was forced to resign after being accused of sexual harassment. Then, writer and director James Chubak was also exposed in a sex scandal when 38 women accused him of soliciting and harassing them, including many Hollywood A-list stars, like Angelina Jolie and Gwyneth Paltrow. Journalist Tim Gray, editor of the entertainment section of Variety magazine, said that sex scandals are writing new, unprecedentedly bad situations in Hollywood, which is already facing many allegations of discrimination. Racial segregation. According to him, in the past, Hollywood loved movies about forgiveness. However, in these cases, I believe that scenario does not happen. In addition to condemning Harvey Weinstein and others, the bigger issue is the cultural change of the American film industry. where exchanging love for roles is the norm and women have to keep quiet. Quiet.